Welcome back, Renegades. Today we're going to talk about the parable of the kitchen oven. So here's the million-dollar question. How are network marketers like us, who've tried everything their upline ever suggested to be successful, and yet still struggled, who grew up with technology and aren't stuck in the 20th century, how are we supposed to grow our downlines and our bank accounts, and yet still have time for real life? My name is J.R. McKee. Join me as we explore how to use 21st century learning and technology to grow our downlines and build lasting wealth. Simply put, this is MLM done different. Welcome to MLM Renegade. Wait, you mean you've never heard of the parable of the kitchen oven? Really? Well, there's a good reason for that. This is a renegade parable, okay? So I want to talk a little bit today about maintenance and about preparing for failure. Because here's the dirty little secret, you guys, it's gonna happen, right? Nobody in the Instagram lifestyle likes to talk about their failures. They just want to show you the pretty posed pictures where, they took some Instagram model took 200 pictures to get the one right one that she could post on Instagram, right? Life is not scripted. Life doesn't work that way. So I was thinking about it, and I came up with this parable, the parable of the kitchen oven. So here's the thing. Why our family, we moved into our house in early 2009. It was technically built in 2008. The house was new. We were the first ones to own it. But here's the thing. Like, at that point in time, obviously it was a major economic downturn that had happened. And so we were able to get our house at an affordable price, which was really great. The problem is, now the house is 10 plus years old. And houses, when they turn to be, 9, 10, 12 years old, they start to break. Okay, no matter all the good intentions that you have, all the maintenance that you do around the house to keep the upkeep, to make it look good, everything else, stuff starts to break. Just like with an old car, over time, things wear out. And in our house, one of the things that wore out isn't just the kitchen oven. Like, the ovens work great. My wife is an incredible baker, and she would die without her double kitchen ovens. But one of the ovens, specifically, the hinges have about given out. And these, she likes to use convection ovens for her baking. And so having the door close all the way is like imperative, because it actually starts the fan that moves the heat around, that it makes the convection cooking happen. And so, I'm a fairly handy guy, right? I do plenty of maintenance around the house, and so I thought, okay, cool. I'll go find I'll go find these hinges, and we'll replace them. No big deal. Well, it's a big deal. The problem is these particular hinges have been discontinued by the manufacturer and are no longer being produced. So my 10-year-old oven now, I'm relegated to essentially junkyard status, to where, not to say that I need to junk the ovens, because I haven't given up yet, but I have to go and find a junkyard where there are some ovens, or maybe on eBay where they want like $150 per hinge. There's 2 hinges. They want $150 per hinge. This hinge is like a 3-inch long piece of metal with a spring attached to it. Like, it is insanely simple. But yet, they aren't available, so, demand breeds increase in prices, right? That's classic supply and demand. My economics education taught me that. So, I got thinking about it, and I kind of came up with this parable. And it basically, it goes like this. He's like, normally, an ounce of preparation is worth a pound of results. But sometimes 10 pounds of results outdoes all preparation. Now, what do I mean by that? So, generally speaking, if we do something and we're prepared for it, we go ahead and we attack the problem from the source. We do preventative maintenance. That's the way to take care of things. That's the way to make sure that things last, that you keep up on things. You change the oil in your car, you rotate the tires, right? That's preventative maintenance, and it helps things to last much longer. So you do a little bit of work now, and it pays off in the long run. Well, sometimes something happens, like a broken hinge, that will outdo all the preparation. It just happens. It's failure. Failure happens. And here's the thing that I want to instill in you guys. Failure is not a bad thing. Okay? In my wife's and I's business right now, we're going through a tough time. And we've actually got, our team is going through a tough time and having difficulties. And it's hard. And the thing overall that we found, though, is that it's okay. The world doesn't end. We can continue on. The sun rises tomorrow, and fill in whatever cheesy line you want to. Failure is not the end. If we are failing, we should be learning. And if we're learning, we're not truly failing. Really, you can, and we tell our team this a lot, and we hear it a lot from our leaders as well, but you only fail if you quit, if you stop moving. You only fail when you stop. And so, if you keep moving forward, if you keep continuing to work at it, if you keep grinding, if you keep hustling, if you keep doing what you need to do in order to find that happy space at the end of the rainbow, then you're progressing. I think of it as a continuum, like I'm climbing a mountain, right? And I know where I want to go, but sometimes focusing on the 3 feet in front of me and attacking that is hard. And so getting through that can be truly a task that takes time, effort, and energy. And it's not always easy, and it won't always be easy. And sometimes the hinges on the oven are going to break, and you got to figure out a way around it, and you got to figure out a way through it. So for us, maybe it's biting the bullet and buying $300 hinges used off of eBay. For you, maybe it's finding a different way to attack your problem. Maybe it's finding a new lead generation source. Maybe it's finding a new course to work on, or a new mentality to work with. As you guys know, I spend a lot of time reading books, a lot of time focusing on personal development. And you know what? Sometimes I get tired, right? I get tired. I don't want to think. I just want to vegetate. That happens to all of us. And sometimes we need to indulge in that. Sometimes we need to work through it. Sometimes that can be your mind telling yourself, hey, we need a break. We need to assimilate the information that we've learned, and we need to consume it, and we need a break. We need to rest. And sometimes you just have to grind through those things. And so it's up to you, of course, to understand the signals of when quitting is quitting and when quitting is pausing to catch your breath. One of the things that in climbing mountains that I learned from my dad was the idea of pressure breathing. Okay, pressure breathing is the idea basically is you take a big deep breath in and then let it out. But you push it out hard. And when you do that, what happens is you're expelling all of the excess gases that kind of build up. Now, when you're at 12 or 13 or 14,000 feet climbing a mountain, it's really important to do this because you need to get your blood oxygenated so that you don't get sick. Altitude sickness is a real thing. If you haven't experienced it, well, I don't encourage you to do so because it's miserable. But what is real about it is it's there and it's omnipresent, and it will attack you when you least expect it. So pressure breathing helps to alleviate that because it clears out all the carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide, the nitrogen, other things out of your lungs so that you can consume more oxygen. And the oxygen is thin, obviously, at altitude, and so it's more important to get a fuller breath so that you can get enough oxygen to continue forward. But this pressure breathing, sometimes you just need to rest. If you're going hard, sometimes you got to stop and let your body catch up. And sometimes you can use what we call a rest step, which literally is like every single step. You step, take a breath. Step, take a breath. Okay? You're resting as you go. I think sometimes grinding for me and just working hard through a problem, sometimes I have to slow it down so that I can go further. Sometimes I have to think about things I can't run crazy into a problem. I need to methodically attack it. That's that rest step. And the pressure breathing is making sure that I'm getting enough rest, that I'm sleeping enough, that I'm letting my mind relax so that it can actually assimilate the information that I'm shoving into it at a rapid pace many days. So that pressure breathing, that rest step is imperative to your success in your entrepreneurial endeavors. Now, I don't want to go off saying like I've made it, because guess what, guys? I have not. Okay, I've got stresses, financial and otherwise, constantly on me, and they don't go away, and I don't expect them to go away for some time. Why? Because I haven't earned it yet. I have not done the things that I need to do and become the person that I need to become in order for those stresses and those things to leave me. So I'm working on becoming that. That's part of what this podcast is, right? This is my journey. I'm hoping I'm bringing you guys along for the ride, and that I can provide some nuggets along the way. Because honestly, I'm excited for where I'm going. I'm excited for what I've already learned, and frankly, I'm excited to learn some of the things I still have yet. Does that mean it's going to be easy? Oh, no. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to get there. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have fun along the way. But really, the journey is part of the fun. And so part of MLM Renegade is sharing the journey with you. So you guys, I'm really passionate about this. I know that I hope that you guys can feel that. I hope that I'm providing value. I've got some great interviews that are coming up with some incredible leaders who have made it. Some people who have actually gone above and beyond, and just they've learned over time what it is they need to do to get better. And they've conquered that mountain, that internal mountain. And when they do that, they qualify themselves for the reward. So I'm working on qualification. I know that many of you guys are as well, and I encourage you to keep your eyes firmly focused on the 3 feet in front of you. Don't let the oven hinges of the world derail you from what you're focused on. And know that preparation truly is the building blocks of success. But when failure happens, when success doesn't come, even though you've prepared for it, don't get discouraged. Don't get down. Just keep going and know that your course is the one that's going to lead you to a place of true happiness and truly achieving and finding your why. Guys, that's all I've got for today. I'm excited for you guys to check this out. Please go check out the videorenegadedownloader.com. I just finished it. I'm really excited about it. It can help you download videos from Facebook, maybe team trainings, or Wistia or Vimeo, wherever you're hosting those videos, and can help you build your own training library. Take care.
Hey, thanks for listening, and please remember to subscribe. And if you loved us, leave us an awesome review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you consume your podcasts. Now, if you'd like some free training for your team on how your recruiting efforts can be bettered and brought into the 21st century, go to podcast.mlmrenegade.com and get your copy of the Renegade Recruiting Kickstarter.